Today let's walk through creating a recipe page using Canva. So first we're going to start out with just a blank template, and so I'm just going to pick this resume one because it's 8.5 by 11, which is the size that we probably want to use in America for printing out recipe pages. And so just using it because it already has the correct dimensions. We're not going to actually use any of the resume templates. So first off, we have our blank page, and now we're going to make the title How to Make. And so I don't need it that big, so maybe like 24 is a good size. And so I'm going to center it, and it's nice how Canva gives you those little grid lines. So you have a nice border around the edge, that's what that rectangle is, and then the center line. So we have it centered, and so I'm going to pick Quicksand for my font. And then now I'm just going to copy it so I can make a line. But here's something you can note. If you want to make an underscore line using that Quicksand font, you'll notice that it actually comes out as dashes. So instead I'm going to pick a Remo. And so when I use underscore with that font, it makes an actual line. So we have how to make, and then a line to put whatever the recipe is. So now we're gonna copy that how to make, and now I'm gonna make the title Ingredients. And then I want one more title. I'm gonna bring this to halfway down the page, still centered, and we have steps. So now we have our 3 titles that we're going to need, but we're going to need some more lines, right? We need spaces to write things down. So I'm going to make this smaller, 16 font. I'm just going to make a bunch of underscoring to make my lines. Now I'm going to move this over so it's at that little edge there, but I don't want it to be all the way across. I want it to have 2 columns. So I'm going to finish out this line. That was one too many. Alright, and so I'm going to make this, move it down slightly, and then I'm going to copy it right up here, dot, 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 and then the duplicate button, and I'm going to line it up with the other one vertically, but I'm going to put it on the other edge. So now we have 2 little columns there for writing out the ingredients, and I'm going to copy this line one more time. I'm going to bring it down to under steps. I'm going to again make the font smaller so that the spacing between the lines is smaller, so that we can fit more lines in. Now it's still 16-point font, so it still should be a comfortable spacing between lines for someone who's writing this by hand, to not feel like they're like squeezing things in. And I think we're gonna copy and paste. That's a good number of lines. And now, I guess there is one too many. Alright, nothing's hanging down there. Now I'm gonna put in swirl. I'll search for swirl, and there's some of these different swirls designs around here. You can see that the ones with the crown are pro, which means that either you have to pay for them or you just, can't use them if you're using the free version. And so I'm going to pick this free little design element, and I'm going to just center it, bring it down a little bit so it's not like right on top of that line. And so I'm going to put that at the bottom. Now you might think like, hey, I want to have design elements on the top, but I want to make sure it like fits in with this design element that I have on the bottom. How am I going to find something? So what you can do is duplicate it, right? But I don't want to put it center on the top. I think that'd be silly, and I don't want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click it so I can crop it. Now I'm going to take half of it. I'm going to flip it vertically, and I'm going to put it right on that side. Now I'm going to duplicate it again. I'm going to double click it so I can crop it, I think. Oh, it's going to give me a little trouble today. Let's start back here. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'm going to crop it. This time I'm going to do the other side, and I'm going to flip it again. Oh, it's because I see. Scroll back up there, and I'm going to put it right there to exactly match the other side. And so now I get to have these little design elements on the top and the bottom that exactly match. Now I'm going to make the top ones a little smaller because I don't want to interrupt the space for writing on that line. So now I have this, and now of course I can always switch out to different fonts from this side over here. I can add all the design elements, say in between the different, next to the different titles. But this is just a basic idea how you can create a nice little recipe page for like a recipe binder really quickly and easily in Canva. Another thing you can use is if you download this and let's say you want to make the lines editable, as in you want someone to be able to type into them, there's a program called PDF Escape, which I'll walk through in a different video, and you can use that to create text blocks so that someone who like downloads your printable here in, say, Adobe Reader can actually type in their recipe, ingredients, and everything instead of having to write it in. So in case they want to, maybe they don't have good handwriting and they want it to be super nice and neat, they can type it in. But that is for a different video, but just so you know, that's called PDF Escape. But there you go. Now you have this cute little recipe page that you can print out.